Hello everybody and welcome back to the journey. Over the course of this week, there has been a lot of things going on in my silver journey. I made a trip to all the shops. I picked up a rather large haul of silver for my standards anyway, and we found a local coin grading service right on the doorstep, right around the corner. I have picked up quite a bit more silver than I had expected. Silver price has been down. It's been around the $23. It even dipped below $23 an ounce. So I ended up getting a whole lot more than I expected. My first visit for the week was over at Newcastle Coins. All right, Newcastle. Let's see if they've got any treasures this week. We haven't been in a couple weeks, actually been in a few weeks, so let's hope for some good ones.
Fort Worth. Yeah. Okay.
1982. The Big E's. Pretty sweet. But he didn't have a whole lot in terms of silver, but he had a few things that actually caught my eye. He had his silver eagles and things like that. He even had the new 2024s. I debated on getting one, but he ended up having a couple of things in that I just had to have. It's not really so much for myself, but I figured, this would be great to trade with someone. And that was these two 1982 Inglehearts. And as you can see, they're still in the lollipop wrappers. And y'all know me, not putting things in capsules is going to drive me absolutely bonkers. But at the same time, I figured, you know what, we'll rescue these and use them possibly as a trade for something. A lot of folks really like to collect these. And if they weren't still sealed in their original packaging, I would most likely just go ahead and put it in capsules and keep them for myself. But I know these really need to stay in these bags, so I'm going to leave them in there. But I am going to be putting these up for trade. Of course, I am looking for several things, several sets. I've got my Kookaburra sets I'm working on and, some other things. But, yep, these are going to be available. So if anybody out there is looking to trade for a couple of these, reach out. Maybe we can work out something. But this was the very first pickup for the week. He also had a couple other things in there that were quite interesting, along with some more of those Inglehearts. He actually had a strip of 10 of those, and I ended up finding him a buyer for those, so he did pull those off the shelf, and I'm going back to pick those up on Friday. So that's pretty awesome. So there's 10 more of those still in one solid strip of the little lollipop bag. So, yep, that's an awesome little find, and that's what I got from him. From there, I did head over to Candle Coin and Stamps. And Cindy and Larry were there, and both in quite good moods. I hadn't been there, hadn't seen them, and I hadn't seen Larry in a couple of weeks, I do believe, because he was out the week before. But I came in, he looked up at me and said, he had a little grin on his face, and he said, "Where you been? I haven't seen you." Well, it was cool. We got to have a sit-down conversation. Usually he's not too talkative, so I thought it was quite fun to sit down and talk with him for the better part of 20 to 30 minutes. I didn't buy anything while I was there. I haven't bought anything there in quite a while. Generally, they've just not had much I'm interested in. They've been stocking mostly Silver Eagles, and then they have a few really high premium coins, and then they've had the Buffaloes. And while I was there, they did get in a shipment of silver bars, and I think they got 100 of the Morgan bars. But of course, I'm really not looking for any of those right now, so I just enjoyed the conversation, and I headed on over to Silver Eagle. Over at Silver Eagle, things were going quite well, but I did talk to the owner and his wife, and he's getting ready to go back in for some more surgery. This time it's on his upper spine near his neck. And so, if you all out there could help send some prayers for him, and, hopefully he can recover rather quickly. So we're not planning on them being here this coming Friday, but I will give them a call just to find out. But while I was there, of course, I dug through all kinds of stuff. They had a good stock of things going on, and I did pick up several pieces while I was there. So let's go over those one by one. The first two I picked these up for, again, another individual. So these will be going out in a trade. And they are two of these Pan America rounds. I have picked up a couple of these before for the same individual, and as far as I know, they're trying to fill a tube. And so here's a couple more of those, and I do have one other. So that's 3 more going out for that, and that should be the end of that tube for them. So this will probably be the last of them that I pick up. But it was cool to find them. I always pick them up for them when I do see them, and so there they are, Pan America. I actually pronounced that wrong. It's actually Pan American. It's a Pan American Silver Corp. And again, I haven't ever really looked into them a whole lot, but I hardly ever find these. And so when I do find them, I'll grab them up for them and make sure that I get them sent along. This next piece I did pick up in their generic bin. It's actually in quite good condition. I didn't expect to see it in there, but they do put them in there when they find any that is what they call in circulated condition. And what that is a Krugerrand. I had one of these before and it did go out into a giveaway. So I did not have any left. So they handed this one to me at $26. And so I was happy to get it. It is a 2020 Krugerrand, and you can see right there that it does have a little bit of a scratching on the body, maybe a bit of a spot. There it is, right above its hips. Little tiny scratch there, and because of that, they put it in as generic. So yep, at $26, I was happy to get it. So let's throw it into a capsule. There we go. Safe and sound and ready for the stack. Now as for pricing on the other ones, the Pan Americans, again, I did get those at generic price. So I did pick those up at $26. And the Inglehards, I did pick those up at $28, which was a great price for those Inglehards. They usually sell for $30 and up, so it was absolutely a buy. So that's what I paid for those. But let's go on to the next one. And again, this next one I found in their generic bin. It does have a couple little spots on it. It's got a little bit of toning on it, but I had to have it. It was $26, and what is that? It is this 2019 Dragon Bar from the Perth Mint. As you can see, it's got a little toning up on the top there, a little bit of spots on there, but nothing I'm too concerned with for the price. $26 for a Dragon Bar. I was perfectly fine with that. So let's get this into a capsule. Of course, generally when you get the stuff out of the Perth Mint, they're already in their capsules. So you can see it is not a really good fit, but it should stay good and protected in there, and we will put it into the box with the others. But that's the next pickup that I had for the day. Now, if you watched my short that I put out that day, you know that there's another piece that I'd picked up, but I of course did not show exactly what it was. So let's get on to that one next. This one is the premium piece for this visit. I generally don't try to pay anything more than a couple, maybe $3 or $4 over spot, sometimes $5, depending on how things are going. This one I paid $35 for. And what is it? It's another one from the Chiwu series. I actually have one from this series and then a couple from the season series. I guess that's how it's pronounced. But I do have now 2 coins from this Chiwu series. I don't know what it is. I ended up accidentally starting series, but that's okay because it is a beautiful piece and I am absolutely happy to add it to the collection. So this is the one that I paid the premium for on this visit. Like I said, I paid $35, but that is okay. It is astonishingly beautiful and I'm happy to have it. And so that was my last visit of the day, which ended me with 7 ounces for the day. I had good visits, good conversation, good people all around. And it's usually like that. And I love that about walking into a coin shop. Even if they've had a pretty rough day, generally they'll still be in a decent mood enough to give you whatever answers that you need, or just all around be cheerful. If nothing else, they'll just fake it till they make it. And hey, there's nothing wrong with building up great relationships when you go into a coin shop, because you always get to see those friendly faces. Of course, I am still covering the extra shifts at work, so I worked straight through the weekend. I didn't have time to go see Mr. Warren, and so I was hoping to be able to make it on Monday morning. That's exactly what I did. Sunday night, I did my extra work just so that I would have a little bit of extra time Monday morning so that I could go see him. I showed up at his shop bright and early Monday morning, and as you can see here, I caught him as he was getting out of his car like I usually do. How are you doing this morning?
Oh,
A little chilly, that's for sure. About 20 degrees. It was about 15 degrees when I left the house.
well, it was 17 last night. That was a low. And it was 28 when I just left. The damn heat is the cold. God sakes.
How was your weekend?
I never got the couch off my back.
We had a great conversation. We actually got some video footage, the better part of an hour of footage for me to break down and edit and put into a new video for all of you. He had several things in there that I was very interested in, but I was there mainly for one thing I had set aside from the week before. Last week, if y'all watched my video for my wrap up, you know that I had picked up the Tudor Beast, or I can't remember, these are Tudor Beast or Queen Beast, but I picked up those 4. And it's actually not all that he had. He did have some other ones there, and I did talk to him and we had worked it out. And so he set those other ones aside for me and I picked them up on Monday. So let's go over all those now. And the first one is the White Greyhound of Richmond. As you can see, this one is not in a capsule, it is in a flip, but I do have capsules on the way. I think I ordered 10 new capsules. I can put this one in there, and a couple of them had damaged capsules. But anyway, I did pick this one up for the first one. It's in awesome shape, as you can see here, and it's another wonderful addition. And the next piece that I picked up while I was there was the White Lion of Mortimer. Again, it's another one from the same series, at least I assume so. I should have actually taken the time to know if these were all from the same series. And I'll actually put a little annotation up letting y'all know that if they're from the same series, and if not, which series each is from. But this was the next one that I had picked up, another 2-ouncer, and it's a wonderful addition. And so next, I also picked up the Yale of Beaufort. If I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, please correct me down in the comments. But as you can see, this one is already in the capsule. But yep, this was piece number 3 for the visit, which would be ounce number 6 for that visit. It's a wonderful visit. I always love going to see him, and when he has beautiful pieces like this, it just gets my heart thumping. I just really couldn't believe he had all these available. Mr. Warren and I had sat down for a little while working on a video, and like I said, we got plenty of footage, and I'll be able to get a solid video out for you all soon. And I also got my eye hooked on this beautiful gold coin. Hopefully I'm going to be able to work something out and get it. It is an 1891 sovereign, and I don't have anything like this. You know me, if you've been following along, I've only got some 10th ounce coins. As you can see here on this one, at the time of making the video, he was asking $450 for this sovereign. And I think that's a pretty good price, and we haven't even talked about price yet. A lot of times he actually gives me a little bit off, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe I can work something out, but we'll see how that goes for next week, and I'll keep you posted. But that was not the end of my visit. There was still more silver to buy. So what was the next piece? It was this White Horse of Hanover, another one from the series. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to leave this one in its capsule. This one doesn't have but a little bit of scratching going on. And again, it is on the capsule and not the coins. But that was another addition. Couldn't beat it. Look at that detail. Wonderful. And as you could probably tell by the little gap on the right, that there was one more pickup. So that totals of 9. 9 of these from this series. What a wonderful surprise when I found them last week. And I'm so glad that he was able to hold them for me. And the final piece that I did get from him from that series is this, the Black Bull of Clarence. Again, another immaculate 2-ounce piece to add to the stack. What a wonderful addition. There are so many out there of different sizes, different designs. I just couldn't believe he had so many of these together at once. That's a total of 9 for this series. So it was quite the 2 weeks of collecting silver. But this past week, I totaled at 17 ounces, and it almost ended up going a little bit higher. But it's still not the end of my pickups. While I was there with Mr. Warren, I was looking around through all of his little things that he's gotten in here and there, and he had quite the oddity that I'd never seen before. They were $2 a piece, which is 4 times their face value. But that's okay. I thought they would look pretty cool in videos from time to time, so I went on ahead and got it. And what are they? Rolls of pennies. Actual annex graded solid rolls of pennies. There's actually 2 of them that I did went on ahead and picked up both of them, and they are sealed and graded. Well, kind of graded anyway. I'd never seen anything like this before. So I said, hey, for that price, $2 a piece, I know it's probably really not worth that, but I'm absolutely happy to add it on. So as you can see, I had a wonderful visit with Mr. Warren. But I couldn't stay all day because I still had work to do. But I worked late last night so that I would have some free time this morning.
There you go.
Yep. Got to come and visit you. My week ain't a week if I don't get to see Mr. Warren.
I wish everybody felt that way.
All right, everybody, y'all got to come and visit Mr. Warren. Well, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for the coins, and hopefully you can get some more treasures in this week.
I hope something comes through that front door.
That's what we're hoping for.
All right.
And so I did head on to work, and I got my things finished there. And I remembered that there's somewhere I needed to go visit. Not long ago, the pocket change inspector put out a video where he had gotten back in some stuff that he had sent in to CAC to hopefully get the green bean. And in that video, he did make a statement that CAC had an office in where? Virginia Beach, Virginia. And if you're not aware, I work in Chesapeake, Virginia, which is basically the next town over. And I looked it up, and it turns out they were only around 25 minutes down the road. They were right out near the ocean front in Virginia Beach, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make the trip. And as you can see, I've got a little lanyard here from them with the CAC. I got a couple of their ink pens, but I did head on over. I got there, and it is actually a secure facility. You can't go inside. It's not open to the public. And so I was thinking to myself, well, maybe it was just a wasted trip, but I figured I would go, and, it is what it is. But I did pick up the phone and give him a call, and I was asking him a few questions about things, and I did happen to tell him I was actually outside in the parking lot. I had just come to see if y'all were open to the public. And she's like, well, if you're here, hold on just a second. And she put me on hold. About 5 minutes later, she comes back and she says, if you want to come up to the front door, we'll come out and meet with you and give you some information and let you know a little more details. And so that's exactly what I did. I went on up near the front door, and the lady I was on the phone with and the head of customer relations had come out and said hello. I didn't even think to see if they would let me video the conversation. We did stand outside for around 10 or 15 minutes just talking about how things were going. They did give me some information, and so I've got one of their papers here. You're welcome to pause and check all this paperwork out if you'd like. Let y'all see everything that's on each side. I have not gone through in depth yet, looking at all this paperwork just yet. It has been quite the week for me, been quite busy. And blank on the back of that one. They also gave me this here, and I have not gone through this at all. I did flip through it real quick just at a glance, and so I still need to read through all this. It's basically just a brochure about what they're doing and all the services that they're going to be offering. And if you are not familiar with CAC, they, for the longest time, you have this logo here, and folks that have graded coins could send their coins in to CAC for an extra grading. And what they're doing basically is verifying that yes, you got the correct grade, or even say, hey, maybe it needs to be better. But if you got that little green bean on there, then you got yourself a really good grade on your coin, and it is a certified grade 2 times over. But now they are offering their own grading service in Virginia, and you can submit just like you do with NGC, PCGS, or even Annex. And there's other grading companies as well. But of course, CAC is a rather well-known company. And now that they're going to be doing their own grading, they got their own slabs. And while I was there, they actually gave me a sample of their slab. And here's what their new slabs are looking like. And there is the little green bean that you can get your other graded stuff recertified with them. But if you get their slab, this is what you're going to receive. Quite a great looking piece. I've got an NGC and a PCGS slab, and I actually kind of prefer the design of this one. I don't have an Annex yet. I've got some on the way, but this is quite the beautiful setup. Really, really well done. And if you'd like, see how well it comes through, but there is their code you can scan and go check things out. But I did talk to the lady there, and I am officially on the waiting list, and I am going to be joining. And hopefully, because I am a local, they said I could possibly even get picked to be able to be submitting a little bit on the earlier side, because I am local, and they are hoping to be able to tend to some local people on a regular basis. The topic did even come up about interviews and things like that, and they said that the gentleman that runs the place, he actually just did a podcast with somebody, and he would more than likely be happy to do an interview. So hopefully I can get something like that set up. I will keep you posted, and if anything like that becomes available, you all will be the first that I tell. So hopefully that's going to work out. It would be absolutely wonderful to get details directly from the man himself that's running such a wonderful large company, that they're there for all of us. So if you don't know who CAC is, head on over to their website and you can get a little bit more information about their grading service. Great company, great people. Everything that I've seen about them has been quite nice. I have heard that they are a little more stringent on their grades. So if you're going to send something to them and you get a high grade, I would actually, think that you really earned it with them. So that's pretty awesome. But that's everything that has happened for me over the last week. It's been a wonderful week all around. 17 ounces of silver. I got to find that local grading company. It's just been solid all the way around. Wonderful visits with everybody, and wonderful visits from y'all coming to check out my video. And I thank you for doing so. So remember to like and subscribe and comment down below and let me know what you think my highlight of the week was. There's too many great things that's happened, and I can't just choose one. But it is what it is, and I thank you all for watching, and remember to follow along on my silver journey. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.